What up to all my people out there? We are back with another Mare of Easttown review breakdown, trying to break down exactly who is the killer. That is what it's all about in the end. Who the hell is this killer? LMR, do you have an idea who you believe the killer is?
It changes every time. Every episode, it's a different thing for me. So yeah, I think I kind of know after this one, but it's different from the last one.
It definitely is different from the last one, and we're not going to waste any more time. We're going to get right into it. What's the deal, my people? You know it is Don Tony Teflon, and you are watching and listening to the sexiest podcast in the world, the Lady and the Don podcast. As always, my beautiful co-host, LMR. How are you?
I'm always good when I'm here, Tony. How are you?
I am great. Great to see you. Great to see everybody in the chat who's joining us on this. It's been, I would say, a hell of a ride. I feel like, like I'm scared for it to end. Like I really like this show.
Yeah. I got it. That's the thing. Mini series. Like if I had not known it's a mini series, I'd be like, yay, it's gonna go on forever. But knowing it's a mini series, I know it's gonna be delivered. I'm not gonna wait years or months and months to find out who done it.
Yeah, so it's a good and a bad thing, right? So you know you're gonna get the ending is gonna come soon, but the ending is gonna come soon.
Right.
So that's bad, we got Red Lipstick Club in the building rocking with us right now. We got the OTDA, the man who holds down the Gazette for the Don. Hi, I'm Allison. Hi, how are you? Celebrity Bikini's in here. Muhammad, my brother from another mother, is in the building rocking with us right now. We have a bunch of people here, and I thank you all for everyone who's decided to come. And yes, check out the Don and Lady and Don podcast on Podbean. It's there, and all these episodes will be uploaded to that, so you can take them on the go with you while you're listening. And you can go through your car, whatever you want to listen to, do your running, you can do your jogging, you can hear LMR's beautiful, sexy voice. I know you hear me, I may make you fall off the treadmill, you hear me and everything, but we're going to get
ladies will fall off the treadmill when they hear you, so I guess it's all good now.
We're going to get right into it. What is going on to everybody in there? People seem to be anxious to put out exactly who they think the killer is. So we're going to recap a little bit because we got certain clues, and that's the best thing about this thing. You get more clues every time. So it could be different week to week. It could be different. So we got a little bit more. We got certain clues that we have to discuss to make it look like, to make us understand exactly where we're at. So what we did learn is that without a shadow of a doubt, she was not killed in the same spot where the body was found, because when they found she was missing a finger. Now I didn't see that missing. Did you see that missing?
No,
finger?
I didn't notice that. No.
I have to go back to episode 1 and 2, and I'm really going to go back and I'm going to see if there's any chance that you could see that finger was missing, or did they intentionally just cover it up the whole time, or did we just miss it?
I remember her fingernails. I don't know. Maybe I'm just, it's like a faulty memory thing after seeing this episode, but I'm thinking that I did see her nails, but for sure I did not notice her finger being missing. And apologies in advance, like for any sounds here. My cat is being extra rambunctious today and having a snack exactly at the time when we're streaming. So, sorry.
No, well, the cat wants to be a part of it. Most likely, he's jealous. Right. Don is here. It's like, what's going on with this cat? I'm supposed to be the center of attention. The Don is here now, taking my attention. So we're missing a part of the finger. And then we find that finger like 17 or so miles away. Far away, she finds the finger.
Yeah. So
we know that she was moved. Number 2, we know that she couldn't have rode her bike there because it's 17 miles. And from the look at the bike, we could tell that. And look at her; this is not a Olympic level bike rider. No. You would have to be to do that on that type of bike, on that bike right there.
Yeah.
So she was definitely picked up and then brought somewhere. So that's number 2. Number 3, we learned that she was killed by a gunshot wound to the head. She was shot. So we know the person has access to weapons, at least this time. It could be Not saying he's a marksman, he's great with guns, but it's definitely someone who has a weapon, has access to a weapon,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody and someone who drove away. Now we do learn later that the deacon is the one who takes the bike. He has in his possession the bike.
Yeah.
And he throws the bike down into the river from the bridge. And we learned that she did call him before she got after the fight with the girls. She called him without a shadow of a doubt. The phone records do indicate that. And then they say they want them to look into why he was removed from his last job and then placed over here. So something suspect happened there. Also, we learned that she was not sexually assaulted.
Exactly. So that's
but a body was stripped as if she was.
Yeah.
And I said this. Now we talked a little bit about this person because people were wondering like why weren't her panties removed? And I figured her panties weren't removed because they wanted to do the full body shot in the show. But I guess the panties weren't removed because she wasn't sexually assaulted. Was it shocking to you that she wasn't sexually assaulted?
I mean, I'm not surprised. Last time I thought maybe, maybe it's not a rape at all, just because her clothes are on. I was thinking if it was rape, then maybe, they put her clothes on to kind of cover her up to make it less indecent. Maybe now, looking at the perspective of that, she wasn't sexually assaulted. It may or might not be a woman. Maybe it's a man, but maybe there's something on the clothes. Because I don't think I'm not sure if they still are looking for her clothes.
I don't, listen, they haven't found the clothes, but if that killer still has the clothes in their possession, then they're idiots, right? This would have to be the first thing that you burn. Not that I'm a killer or anything, but I'm not stupid either. If you wanted to do something and you did something, you wouldn't keep the murder weapon, you wouldn't keep the clothes, you wouldn't do anything like that. You would get rid of all this stuff. So if they do find that in any way, capacity, or find it with anyone's DNA on it or anything like that, these are idiots. Then we're dealing with a big idiot here.
Yeah.
But I will say that they are pointing the finger at the deacon very hard. They're intentionally trying to move you to believe that the deacon did it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I can buy it. Let's go through the deacon right now as quick as we can. Do you think the deacon is the killer? And if so, and if not, why?
I don't think he is the killer, and just by showing him, I think there's a bit of an echo. Just by showing him, throw the bike off the bridge. I mean, it's just pointing to him, but he may be afraid that they will think that it's him. Maybe he had the bike in his possession. Maybe obviously there's more to it. There's a reason why he has that bike. But it doesn't mean that he actually did it. But to make sure that nobody says that he did, maybe that's why he's throwing it away like that, kind of carelessly. Maybe he doesn't believe that if he said to them that, hey, by the way, I do have her bike because she stopped by here and, she stormed off or somebody picked her up or whatever it is. Maybe, I don't know what it is, what religion exactly they are. But like I know in Catholicism, you're not supposed to, if there's a confession, priests are not allowed to say whatever somebody said to them. So maybe he knows something. Maybe somebody even might have confessed something. But whatever the rules are of that faith, he may not, even by law, he cannot, say anything. At least that was for what I remember being in Catholicism. I don't think they are Catholic, though. I don't know. But yeah, maybe he knows something and just doesn't want to be associated because he has no alibi and he has to get rid of that proof because he doesn't believe that police will not accuse him of that.
All right, I agree with you. But anyone in the chat, please put how you feel about the deacon. We'll highlight your comments. We're going through the deacon right now. Sterling Sapien says, don't see it being a deacon. Too obvious. He knows. If anything, he knows who did it. Now, that is a good chance that it could be that. I do believe, too, it's way too obvious for the deacon. They're trying too hard to make you believe it's a deacon. And yes, he most likely was the person she called right after it happened, and he is most likely the person who picked her up. Guaranteed. But there's something else after that happened. And we don't know exactly what that is yet. But I think, he has evidence on him that it could be him. You know what I mean? Because he has the bike in his possession, and everyone's going to be looking at him now. And they also say that they try to go back to interview him. He refuses to open the door for them, like he's hiding upstairs.
Yeah.
But they try to go back there and everything else, So if there's something going on with the deacon, I don't think it's him. Now, we have to look at exactly what this is all about. I think that's what people have to, and his past is going to be bad,
right?
But it's going to have nothing to do with this situation. It's going to make him look bad, So because you have to look back, you got to look at exactly this girl's story, and I think that's how you could tell exactly what this girl's story is from the beginning. When we were introduced to this girl, she has a baby with this kid, and the dad was mad at her because he was paying all the bills and the baby needed surgery to get done. And she was trying to come up with the money for the surgery. That is what it is. You know what I mean? That is right there, the story. That's the crux of it right now. You know what I mean? Dealing with the deacon and everything else, I don't believe that it's him, but when you look at her story, you have to say, all right, she's looking for money. Her dad was willing. It looked like her dad was ready to kick her ass. You know what I mean? Like, I've been paying for anything. I'm not paying for nothing. She's asking this kid for the money. So the paternity of this child and her getting money is most likely what got her killed. If it wasn't for sex and someone in this serial killer, this serial rapist just raped her, it is because the paternity of the child and her asking for money, and it coming out for the money could be the number one reason that she is going to get killed, has gotten killed this time. But that's what I would have to put together of what's going on with her and why. And when we look at the paternity, that goes back to her husband and Frank. And listen, small town life is exactly that. Her best friend found out that information. She zipped her ass over the mayor and dropped that bomb right on her. And the mayor was just like, "Oh, word, I'm going to ask this month." And she
across the yard
right there during family night, during game night, during Monopoly. She did not pass go. She did not collect $200. She just went right over there and just got it right on with him. So that brings up Frank. Again, his name's Frank, right? Frank Sheena?
Yes, Frank.
And that brings up Frankie, baby. Do you believe that Frank is the killer?
Like it kind of goes back to what we were just talking about. I'm not sure now, because people can lie really, really well. And with Frank, and I don't know how much church going he is actually doing, but as you were finishing up talking about the deacon, I was thinking, what if she went to that deacon, and actually maybe, who knows, maybe he was the father. Just kind of going back with that, since you mentioned the father probably being like, doing the paternity test, like if it came out that, let's say, either Frank or that deacon were the father of that baby, and the whole scandal, because maybe she did have sex with them, but she used that as, I think it's you, I don't think it's Dylan, I maybe you, do you want to risk it, do you want me going out there telling that it's you, kind of like just threatening him with that. Is the whole episode. I was waiting for Mare to actually do the bad thing, to go against, to show, what the mother or mother figure will do to protect the son or whoever she's protecting. So maybe this was the same thing with her when she got killed. maybe she just risked everything and it got her into the 6 feet under. But as far as Frank, there's everybody can be daddy right now. Like even the deacon, even Mayor's cousin right now, because the scandal. Why would Mayor mention, oh, do you want to stay in the room with her with all the the late scandals with clergy and all that? Why would she mention that? Like maybe it's nothing, but maybe it's something.
Yeah, so people are saying Frank was drunk that night. I will say this also. He was drunk that night, and it doesn't seem like he could do it because he seemed like they said he pissed his pants. He pissed in the closet, they said. That closet wasn't checked for DNA to see if that actually did happen. That's just someone saying. Just like this girl said, she thought it was Frank. And I told her, this is this girl's opinion. She wasn't told it was him. Her opinion was it was him because she's seen him getting out of the car. And he says he got out the car because he felt bad for her and brought her some stuff, which fits the story. We know the dad said earlier that he doesn't like buying her stuff and everything else. So it's a good possibility. She didn't want to ask her dad for money. She asked her teacher, and the teacher said, yeah, I've seen teachers do that for students before. I've seen teachers buy students lunch. I've seen teachers buy students clothes. I've seen that, and they were not having sex with him. So it's a good possibility that he was drunk. But I will say, and he didn't do it, and he's very innocent. He was quick to give up the DNA. He was sure that he's not the baby's father. He walked right down there, and on top of that, I would say that when you deal with drunkenness, it doesn't mean everything, because when you deal with Mayor was drunk, but yet it seemed like that night she still got that heroin and planted it on that girl, right? And she seemed to be drunk and wouldn't have been able. They didn't show any of that go down. They did two things that they showed that they didn't show go down. When Aaron's father shot that kid and he went in to confess it to a mayor, Mayor already knew that the kid wasn't dead and he was in the hospital, could be paralyzed.
And somebody brought him in. So somebody, and I don't know who brought them. Do we know who brought them? Was it that, what's his name, John, and I forgot the other dude that were by the in the forest looking for Frank, not for Frank, for Kevin. Who brought them? Who brought them in?
They did not say who brought them in. They said, I think it said someone was concerned they were lucky that they got there, and by the time they did, right? So things happen off screen twice this episode that we've seen. And so don't think people can't do stuff. Kelly Johnson, thank you for the super chat. T, maybe it won't be solved like Septim Moon's death. I know who killed Septim Moon. So, and I know who did this too. Thank you. I truly, truly appreciate the super chat. People say I don't think it's Frank. I think why are people bringing up other people's names? We're talking about we'll go through everybody. You can't be bringing up other people's names. Save all that stuff for later. Let's go through them one at a time here, people. Jeez, I don't think it's Frank. Listen, it's Frank. We're talking about Frank right now. Now, what about Frank's fiance? She's very quiet. She was very upset.
Faye, I think, right? That's her name.
Faye. Yeah. Oh my God, these are both my ex's names, Aaron and and I hate even saying it. So and Faye's my kid's mother. So she seemed like she's very sitting there. She's very slow. She's quiet. It seemed like like this was the first time she heard of this situation, because she's not even talking to him.
I'm surprised she didn't get up. I would be like what the fuck? Why are you barging in?
Right to the police station. And she was like, you're going to the police station with me. I'm going there. I ain't talking to you, but I'm going there because I know Mary's there, and I'm going with you and sitting at the cop station with you and all that. I know people would like to see it. I don't see it being. I don't see her having the motivation if that's the first time she heard about that rumor. That would only be the reason why she would have the motivation to kill that girl, would be if she heard about that rumor.
I'm surprised that she didn't get up. Like, I'm thinking how I would be reacting. I would get up. I wouldn't be just sitting on the couch or whatever she was sitting. I would be like, okay, Mary says something and the husband storms out, Frank storms out. Why is Faye sitting just like, okay, let's just wait for them. Like, girl, this is your business. I would be like, so what's up? What's going on? I would be like standing right next to Frank,
That's your
not
fiance,
just
right?
sitting there.
You're allowed to do that, right? If it's your fiance
Oh no,
and
no,
you're
like by
about
the
to marry.
door. I mean, Mary barged into my house, kind of, right? And
Mm-hmm.
she's calling my husband or fiance out. So I would be like right by the door with him, like, what do you have to say? Not to him, but to her. Like, why are you accusing him? I want to hear it too. I just don't want to sit by the couch and listen to what you're accusing, my husband of, kind of thing.
Yeah, she wasn't being like, wasn't like she was being she wasn't like she was being quiet when she was whispering this shit to him.
No, they could
Like
hear it
she was
through a closed
she was
door.
rolling rocked up and everything else and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Miss Duncan the tall, howdy boo, how are you?
I see.
Tone help friends. And one stopping by to wish our hot panel a nice day. Can't stay. Sorry you can't stay, but it's always great seeing you, Miss Duncan the tall. Howdy boo to you. All right, so I'm gonna say no. If it, we're gonna move on from, but the DNA evidence has not come back.
Yeah.
And then that leads right to the baby's daddy finding out that he may not be the father.
Right, the way he was looking.
And looking at the child in the face and everything. And him looking at the child is a key about something. Like, I believe this child looks like one of the killers. Like, there's something about this child that you're going to be able to look at and say the killer, it's whether it's eye color or something like that. It's going to be something going on here about this child and stuff. Now, at the end of and we won't talk about that now, but in the preview for the next episode, we do see something crazy going on with the baby and all that. And we're going to talk to, oh my God, gorgeous LMR. What a treat.
Oh,
it is a treat.
Thank you.
It definitely is a treat without a shout of that.
No.
People telling me this girl.
So as far as
that
Frank,
Faye is more suspicious than Frank. I don't think so. I think that the only way Faye would do it is if she knew that baby that had a chance of being a baby. Unless we could know some proof that she knew that prior, would be the only way we could say she did it. Without that, we can't say she did it. Thinking, does she have access to a weapon?
I mean, the weapon that Mare had, that was obviously locked. But I'm thinking, okay, so when Frank got, again, they were mentioning that. I'm hoping that they're saying and mentioning those details for a reason, not just, to fill time. They mentioned that Frank was inside, was it Aaron, right? Aaron's house twice. So I wonder if Frank wanted to not only deliver the diapers and formula and all that stuff, but also to get a quick peek at the baby. And it's very quick. It's really easy to get a DNA. You just get a swab. I'm assuming he could have ordered like a DNA kit just for himself. Maybe he slept with her or something, and he wanted to make sure that it's not his kid. Did the quick, swab and send it out. Who knows? Maybe Faye saw some papers in the mail.
Let me say this. I think if you had an affair with a child like that and had a baby that you in a small town that it's in, you're not going to put your car in that person's driveway for someone to
see. That was very dumb.
He drove right directly into the driveway both times, they said. So it wasn't like he was hiding two blocks around the corner. He pulled right in the driveway. So when you pull right into the driveway, now people in the chat, I know that y'all had affairs before. Stop lying. All right? Y'all in the chat know about affairs. And when you do have an affair, you're not pulling up in that person's, especially in a small town, because in a small town, everybody knows who everybody's car is. Like your people know your car when you're in a small town. They know you park.
And
your car.
He was seen, right?
So that's just the way it is. So I don't think that man would pull up in there. You know what I mean? In that car and do that and just sit up in there like that. I just don't see it being done. So that's what we got. We're zapping the what's that? KSOs? I don't know what that. How you pronounce the K word? KSOS. OS. I don't know, but salute from Paris. Salute from Paris.
It's like a panda. That's so cute.
Thank you for the super chat, Kelly Johnson. Tony, who killed something moon? Ask me on tomorrow night during the podcast, and I will talk about that. This is, and I really wish I could, Kelly, but this is strictly dealing with this show, so I can't just go off into another show. And people, you know, if other people did watch it, they wouldn't understand. But tomorrow night we will be doing the podcast, the Usual Suspects podcast, and we're talking about Robert's rebellion and everything that led up to that. Nice. So that's what we're gonna do. He said, yeah, it's like that. All right, KSOS. I got KSSOS. All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that great time, but so that Bernie says always hiding implied plenty of time. Not when you're having an affair. Not when you're having an affair.
No, people do stupid things too. So maybe he was.
You don't pull up in the driveway. Everyone knows that you got to park around the corner. You got to leave your car in the parking lot where it's in the Walmart or something where you can just say, "Hey, I was shopping at the time." If your car gets spot, it can't be in the driveway. And there's no way he could do it. So that reason, I'm gonna have to go away from Frank right now. I would like to, even if he's, I can't see it being Frank. Right? I can't see it being Frank.
And not Faye either, right?
Yeah, and not Faye. Okay. I gotta go away from both of them. You know, what about Mayor's boyfriend Richard?
They did not give any extra hints, right? They were just talking about his son and how he was kind of just swept away by the fame that he got from writing his book, how his wife took his son away around that time. So he kind of confesses to being, out there sleeping with other women. But just because somebody says, "Oh yeah, I'm very bad," that doesn't excuse anything after that. So I don't know. I didn't get any extra clues. Did you?
No, there's nothing there extra to point towards him.
Bernie says he did it.
She thinks he did it.
I would like for him to, but they're not giving me anything extra to think that he did. If they actually kept from now on, if they kept all the clues away from him, and then at the end they drop this big, thing, that would become okay. There's no chase for him.
As Percy says, he was knocking off Mayor that night. He did have sex with Mayor that night, but he was wide awake after that. Doesn't mean he didn't leave the house. But what would be his? It would be his motivation. Right. Now, was he there to knock this girl up? If we're going with basing it on the pregnancy and the baby, he would have had to been there long enough to knock that girl up, and she would have had to know that he was the baby father and somehow blackmail them to get the money for the surgery, or I'm going to expose you for what it is. That's a lot of loose threads to point towards this guy. Which is one reason I don't know if he is the killer. I don't really know if I could put him down.
And it's easier to just, pay her, what is it, like $2,000, under $2,000? Even take out a loan for that. Just take out a loan and you don't have to kill her, right? You don't have to.
It seems like he has money.
Right, yeah.
It seems like he's making money from them books, and he's teaching at the college.
That's right. So he does. Yeah, I was wondering, like, if he actually has money. So it would be easier to just pay her to keep her quiet.
So that comes down to, again, it may not be money. It would have to be, if money's not the factor, because I don't think you're killing someone for $2,000.
No, that's a lot of hassle for that money.
Tell somebody, and you must be guilty somehow that you're the father of this baby. It's going to ruin your life if people find out that that's the case and everything else. So that brings us to John Ross, who plays Joe Tippett. And if people are forgetting who he is, Joe Tippett. I mean, Joe Tippett's the actor. John Ross is the character's name. But that is Laurie's husband, Mayor's best friend. And it's possible that somehow he could have been the baby daddy. What about that? Do you think? I mean, we didn't get a lot of evidence. I mean, is he the one? He said that he was if it could be him. Listen, because it would ruin his marriage.
They're acting kind of funny. They're acting kind of odd. Him and whoever the other guy is in the truck with him.
And he has his daughter like has some type of Down syndrome, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So if there's, because I think it's going to be something that connects the child with something. So if this child somehow has some trait of that,
Right.
maybe that would be a connection. Not that but it could be it's something going on there. People say not John, but the other cousin, cousin Bill.
They're like, why are they together? Why are they like always together? And he's either, I don't know what is up with his acting. Is he supposed to act like so kind of like he's just an extra, looking like an extra, or is there something that he's just like, I don't know. There's something up with him. Either his acting
the
or
actress that plays his wife, like her, like Daddy, she's known. Like if you ever watched her in any other like movie that she was in, she's known to have very dramatic like scenes, like crying scenes, over dramatized scenes. Like she does, like that's her specialty.
So she'll be perfect for finding out like a shocking thing as a spouse.
Like that, like that's her shit. Like if you hired, Claude Van Damme for a fighting scene, like you hire this lady for a dramatic scene because that's what she does in everything. She is like really good at it. So if it was him, she would get that dramatic scene that we would get from her, So it could be. Bernie says the writer is the killer because he needs a muse.
We talked about that last time, that he's like looking through, like, but
trying to write another book.
But there are no other clues besides that. Is he like following this whole thing? I don't know. He's not very inquisitive when it comes to the murder. He could be asking Mare about it, like, oh, how's it going? Tell me, how are the, you don't have to tell me details, but tell me how it feels, or blah blah blah, stuff like that. But instead he's asking about Mare's life.
And he seems to be content that he had one hit book and he doesn't want, like, he never tried to write another one. I had the one hit. I'm cool with the one hit. He's still getting, listen, he's not young, right? So if he was going to have that ambition, you would think it would have happened right after the book. Like the book came out, he got the fame, and it went away. This fame is still going on. You know what I mean? He still got a bunch of groupies hanging out around him.
Right.
Mare was seeing it and everything else. So he's still getting some, play from that book. It's still working, so. I don't know why. I don't think it would be a reason for him to do it and everything else. So I'm going to say that I don't know, but I don't know. I have no idea. I don't think. As for the husband, Laurie's husband, we don't really have a lot to go on to say that it's him. But the only reason, the motive would be, you know what I mean, that's the father, and that's it, or.
Lady Fadarst. Fatasard. That's so funny. I'm looking at the name. People come up with the craziest names here. Lady F, let's just say this way. She says, could her son be involved?
Lady, Lady, what do you say, Fat Ass Red?
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that.
I'd have to go Fat Ass Red. I'm sorry if it's
Red.
not pronounced.
I love that name.
I don't know if it's that.
I imagine like red leggings.
Whose son are we talking about? Mare's
I think Mare's son. I think.
Right. So I came up with the theory, right? My first video that Mare's son had something to do with it, and that's why, and which puts Mare having something to do with it in the end, and Mare covering up. All right, I made that theory. If you haven't seen that video, go check that video out and everything. I don't know, because I don't know if the timeline exactly works out for it.
And we're finding out more and more about the timeline, little bits and pieces, right?
There's definitely something going on with them, because it has to do with the son too. Because number one, the son keeps coming up. Like she's seeing flashes of him, like she's seeing him stand there by the baby. And we've seen that she's willing to lie to keep this baby. And we also heard that, that, if he knew that he was raising her kid,
right,
he wouldn't want her around. She hated her.
Mm-hmm.
So
he hated her. Like her son hated her, right?
That's what we're hearing.
Yeah,
We heard it twice, right? Twice now.
Yep.
That she hated her, and then she admitted that she wasn't that she wasn't a good mother.
Yep. And we actually hear it from her daughter too when she's recording. And that's the thing is she's I forgot. I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Siobhan.
Yeah. So she's recording kind of like I don't know something about her brother, right? But she mentions it's not a very pretty thing to say to just in public, because in that she actually says something bad about her mother, that her mother was so embarrassed, she left. So we definitely know that's a horrible thing, to do. As a mother, I mean, not horrible. I mean, everybody deals with stuff differently.
Mm-hmm.
But that's impactful on everybody to kind of see that and to put her in that light.
I would like to say welcome to Fat Ass Red. We like fat asses around here, so hopefully you subscribe
and stay around for the after dark streams.
We get a picture other than L in one day. Definitely subscribe. So everyone who's here, we have over 50 people watching. Listen, hit that thumbs up button if you can. The more thumbs up we have, the more likely it is for somebody to other people, to YouTube to suggest a video and other people to come and watch us and get involved in something like that. Now she said, Bernie saying she said someone was with him. Who are we talking about here? I need to know who you're talking about, Bernie. Are we talking about the same dude we're talking about here?
I'm not sure. Yeah. Just reading comments from Bernie right now. So I'm not sure, like with who, with the son, like the son would not be able to do. Maybe because we still kind of don't know what the reason for the suicide was. I mean, he was having a lot of issues, and I wonder what drove him to actually kill himself at that point.
And that would have to. She said the daughter said the daughter was right. Siobhan, right?
During when he was, that's right, because when she was saying that she hoped that Siobhan that Kevin was not alone when he did it. Somebody was there with him. Yeah,
someone was there. So I would think if it was anyone who would be there when it happened right there, I would think the girlfriend. It would be with him. Let's talk a little bit about Siobhan. Would Siobhan do something like this? We've seen her save the girl. That's the last we've seen. We've seen her save the girl from getting beat up. She ran up to do that. And that's all we know about her, with that she saved the girl. The girl left after that. And I'm going to say that it wasn't Siobhan, because the girl, this is what we know. She got beat up. She walks away. Someone picks it. When she walks away, right? And this is where she doesn't take her bike. She doesn't even walk down the hill. It seems like she walks the opposite way than she came. That's what it seems like. I don't know if she walked, but maybe she walked back down there, got on her bike, drove a little bit, called somebody, and the preacher, the reverend, the deacon, and deacon comes and picks her up. If not, then she called the deacon. He picks her up and then goes back and grabs the bike also. She's like, oh, I forgot my bike there, and grabs the bike. Well, when I look at Siobhan, I don't think that she would know where she was at that time. This is 17 miles away where the body was found. And I don't think that she would be able to shoot her, chop off her fingers. Well, her finger got chopped off from the bullet.
Yeah, but the bullet, yeah.
Shoot her, grab her body, put it in the car, and then drive it back and drop her off. I don't think she had the physical strength to do that. I don't think so. So I don't think that would be the case.
And she seems very caring too, like about just being a very good sister or aunt to her brother's son. To not, I mean, nice people are killers too. Maybe crime of passion. So we don't know, was it a crime of passion or just kind of premeditated murder?
Yeah, Red Lipstick Club. I won't call her regular name, but since she said Red Lipstick Club, we're going to go with that. It says, well, hell, what if Mare was there and her son and decided he needed to put himself out of his misery and did nothing? Listen, it could be she's like, oh, you want to kill yourself? Go ahead and kill yourself, stupid. And he really did it. It could be a situation like that. You know, I can't say it's not. And the Don is not a catfisher. I mean, what is catfishing? Catfishing means that you are not who you supposedly are, right?
Yeah.
Why are people trying to play me for? You have to get blocked.
No. I think it was mentioning that you know, the fat ass red.
Yeah, but I'm not catfishing. Catfishing
no. Somebody does it too.
Something that you're not. I'm not trying to be something that I'm not. Look, Muhammad says I love fat ass. Is he catfishing? I don't think that would be considered catfish at all.
I guess
Jesus Christ.
You know, people don't have pictures.
Bernie said there was more than one line. It was something like, my brother wasn't alone. I don't know who was with him when he died. That's really suspicious to me. Like, man, so, you know, I agree. It is suspicious that she was that line. It means something. And we don't know who he was with. And it could have been Mare, but it also could have been the chick he was doing drugs with. You know what I mean? It could
and they were not getting along either, right? They were.
I don't know.
I think it was mentioned that they were not getting along at that time.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It could be something, but I don't know if it truly means something. That documentary does mean something. It's all connected. Her doing that documentary, it means that her brother, I'm telling you, is involved some way with something. Because we have two situations here when you deal with the preview of next week. So, but we'll go through this one and then we'll talk about the other situation. So after we go through all these suspects and stuff, so it could be this cat. There's nothing that says it's not him right now. So I don't know. Obviously, Erin's dad is still a suspect, but I'm not really even willing to discuss Erin's dad right now because I don't think that Erin's dad had anything to do with it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we can. Like, somebody may argue, oh yeah, you know, he shot. You know,
he had access to a gun, right? We know she was shot in the head. And he's the only one that we really.
And it wasn't his gun, was it? It was either John's or Bill's gun.
He grabbed the gun. He took the gun.
But then, like, if he actually shot Dylan just to kind of make himself look like he's a father who's mourning, who wasn't sure what he was doing. First of all, he could have shot him. That puts him, you know, that's illegal. Please don't shoot people, right? You're gonna be in trouble. So he would be in trouble anyway for either shooting or killing the dude. He was passed out. He was drunk after, so he could have actually killed him. He thought he killed him, we think. But at the same time, you know, if he had done it, for example, if he had done it and he wanted to, like, oh, I'm gonna kill Dylan because he killed my baby, girl. Then he's stuck with a baby, and he's stuck with the baby that he has to now provide for because the father of the baby is dead. Exactly. So that would completely not make any sense.
It wouldn't, and it seems like, you know, it makes no sense. He wouldn't want to take care of the baby. There's no reasons, no motivation for him to kill his daughter and everything. And I know you were joking, Bernie. I'm joking too. You see what happens? I'm not going to. I would never block you. You're like a part of this channel and stuff. I would never do. I'm just playing with you. But you know, I think there's no motivation. You know, there's no whether he had a gun or anything. There's no reason for him to do it. It makes no sense at all. For him.
He just reacts, right? Like he was blowing up and his daughter blowing off steam, kind of in her face.
You know
He's
what?
just
You know what I didn't like about the whole thing about him. This is what I didn't like. The one thing I didn't like about this, like either he's an idiot or I don't know why they did this. They did this joke because she makes him macaroni and cheese for dinner. He comes home from work.
Yeah.
She pulls it out, and this is not microwave. She didn't make it first. She pulls the microwave, right? Microwave macaroni and cheese.
That's hot.
He sits down at the table. Like, there's nothing else to go with. It's just straight macaroni and cheese. There's that's all it is. No bread. No, puts it on a paper plate, I think. Yeah. And then he eats it and then burns his mouth and gets mad. Like, dude.
At her. Are you a baby?
I mean, listen. When you have something that's hot, that's in front of you. You see the steam.
Right.
You can smell the heat when you hold it towards your face and feel it. How would you put that hot shit in your mouth and not realize it's hot before it got into your mouth? Is what I did. I just don't know.
That was ridiculous. Hot. Like, how dare you make my food hot? My food is too cold. My food is too hot. Like, what's wrong? Why aren't you chewing my food for me? Right? Like, okay.
It just doesn't make sense. I didn't like that. I didn't like that scene at all. If he was drunk or something, like even if you're drunk, you know. No, you know when your food's hot, goddamn.
Yeah.
So
and it's not the first time, you know. I'm sure anybody who heats anything up, you kind of like, you have a muscle memory. You remember when you were burned, so you kind of pick it up and like look at it, like, okay, is it safe to eat? You would look at it.
Another name I've never seen before here, right? What's that? Muji's Retirement Haven. Yes, I agree. Percy Garcia, Aaron's child, could have also been Mayor's son's child. You know, I said this is the theory that I put out there already, that this is a reason for him to do it. I just don't know about the timeline. I need to know more about the timeline. When Mayor's son died, I need to know. And I said the child's gonna develop something. Like, we already know it has problems. It has to have sort. If it develops some type of tick, or we see some type of tick, then we could know. You know what I mean? That there's a problem. You know, because we know 2 kids in there that have disabilities that we see. Yeah. Mayor's grandson has a disability. He has tics, and we know that the other girl somehow has some type of cerebral palsy. That's what we know right now. Now, if her son died 2 years, see, people are saying 1 year. I thought is it 2 years ago or 1 year? Yeah. 1 year ago is when the lady said that her daughter went missing. If it was that, then it's possible. But if it's 2 years ago, now how old is this baby? This baby's.
I didn't see the baby walking.
Yeah, so it would have to be 1 year. Let's just say 1 year. It's not 2 years old. So it would have to be that. If the son died 2 years ago, and I'm not sure if they said it was 2 years ago or not. If the son died 2 years ago, it's not done. But if they said the son died a year, so the son died when her friend's daughter went missing, then yes, without a shadow of a doubt. I wish that's the case, because my theory would be true then. You know, but I don't know. I need to know exactly or what's going on there with that. Let's go to who I believe everyone should be really looking at, and that is Mayor's cousin, the priest. If you're gonna look at anybody in here, I think that this dude, what is his name? Dan?
Oh, I have no idea.
I think it's Dan, the priest. Dan.
Okay. Dan.
Priest, goddamn Dan. You have to look. If you're gonna look at the other guy, you have to look at this goddamn priest Dan. Because Priest Dan is if the Reverend was covering for anyone, it would be him. This is the guy who gave him a job, took him out of the situation he was in, and he was he was right around the corner, like peeking in, like listening and everything else, like he was about that life. You know what I mean? Sorry about that. I'm a sports fan. All right, so, so I don't think it's the deacon, but if it's one of the motherfuckers, it's him.
He was asking, how did it go? How did it go? Like extra interested, right? After they interviewed him or questioned him.
Mm-hmm. Now, exactly. And so people said, who has cerebral palsy? I thought the hearing issue needed surgery. The girl has.
I think she has Down syndrome.
Is it Down syndrome?
Yes,
I'm sorry. The Down syndrome. The girl has Down syndrome. Then, you know what I mean. I'm sorry. I got it confused. That CP is Down syndrome. The girl has Down syndrome. So I would think that if it was his kid, it would have to have some showing of that. I think that's what they would do for that.
And it's the hair is lighter on that. I don't know if there's a name of DJ, right? That's the baby's name.
Yeah.
Lighter hair, and doesn't that priest have, or her cousin have lighter hair?
Oh. He does.
Like they're like
compared to everybody.
And Dylan's hair is black, and Aaron's hair is black, and this baby has very kind of like I mean, I know people who had literally whitish blonde hair until like they were 2 years old, and now their hair is black. But I know that it's possible. But for the show purposes, why would you have this baby? And I'm sure there are a bunch of babies with really dark hair, and this baby looks kind of, extra pale on the skin, and the hair looks more like a reddish blonde, at least from what I remember seeing.
Yeah, I would say, Muhammad, that's a good reason to hit the like button. But let's just hit the like button just to hit the like button too, all right? Maybe some ladies in here don't like it. So, let's hit the like button if you like, people who wear hats and polo vests. How about that too? Let's just hit that damn like button for whatever reason.
Right.
Or here
or color blue.
The color blue.
Anything.
Blue. Let's just hit the like button.
Yeah.
But that is
by hitting the button, you help other people to find the show. So you're not just doing it for yourself or for us here. You're doing it for others who should know about this.
Hey, we don't ask for any money or anything else like that. It doesn't cost you anything to do it. It's just a half a second out of your life. That's all I'm asking for. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. Yeah. Now back to this damn reverend.
Right.
He does have light color hair.
Yeah.
I heard a rumor. Now people are saying that there was an interview. I didn't see this interview, but there's a rumor that there was some interview that they said that the killer was in episode 1. I don't know if that's true or not.
Okay.
People leave that in my comment section. You know what I mean? So I would so he was in episode 1 also. He was
he was right there by the kitchen table in Mare's house.
Kitchen. And all right, we're gonna go into if people didn't see the preview for next week's episode. Did you see the preview? Did you watch?
I did. There was a lot about the baby and
all right, so we'll talk a little bit about because we go into that. So the preview of next week's episode shows that the supposed baby's father looks like he wants to kill the baby. That's what it looked like to me. Like he's ready to kill the baby for whatever reason. It's not my kid, so I'm gonna kill it, which is stupid. It's not a really good reason to do something like that.
Yeah.
That's not good. Also, it seems like this lady's daughter was kidnapped and has been being held hostage for this whole year because someone's calling and asking for money, right?
Yeah.
Now, and then we see a clip of what could be her daughter being held hostage, right? We're not sure if that's a daughter because we've never seen it, but it looks like. Now, all right, this is what we have to talk about now. If someone kidnaps someone, why would you wait a whole year before you ask for ransom?
Maybe they're getting closer to finding her. Maybe somebody's getting closer to. But like if they see if the daughter sees the kidnapper, she can say who it was. And how much did they ask for? $1,000?
Yeah, something like that. That's a crackhead. That's a crackhead price.
Like what the heck? $1,000 to keep somebody for a year?
You don't kidnap somebody for a year, hold them for a year, and then
it's
say,
fake.
"Hey, we're gonna give you $1,000 for it." That seems suspect. it makes me think that the daughter's really not alive and really not being held.
Exactly. Feeding somebody for a year, that's more money than that. I mean, thousands of dollars, and but they know that she can. Whoever is trying to do that, who get the money, and obviously this is not the killer; it's someone like you said, that kind of money. But that's enough money that they logically think that she could get from the store, because I'm not sure how her finances are. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to that, like how her home is.
Well,
or
she's a cashier, so
so she can get money.
Yeah,
that kind of money.
Think that if you're a cashier, you're not, you're not making a lot of money.
But she can get it from the register. That's what I mean. Like, from a job, knowing that she's a cashier, she has access, if she really wanted to take that money. And they know not to ask for $10,000, because they know she may not have it in her checking. She may not, because of the treatments. Obviously, she may have insurance to cover that, but there's still payments out of pocket, so she may be kind of broke. But she has access to that register, and $1,000 in the register is kind of almost, and especially like that kind of store, she can have that money within a day or two.
Yeah, she could rob it. I mean, I don't think you'd have 1,000 in the till at that time. I think you have to drop off a certain amount, but I think that she could probably pull off and grab it. People saying it's the black guy that robbed his sister. Listen, he's a crackhead, and if that's a crackhead thing to do, I don't believe
for the
that.
money.
But from that one image of that girl like pounding the wall, it seems like that. Maybe it's the daughter doing that. We don't know, because it doesn't seem like anyone I've ever seen. But I really can't see anyone kidnapping. Luna wants to be a part of the stream.
Yes, I'll get her here. Hopefully, she won't bite me this time.
She's like, all right, I'm here now. It's my stream. All right, I know who Luna knows who the killer is. I know, right? I know who the killer is. But I just don't see why it would be a situation like why you wait a full year. It costs you more to keep that person alive in food and water for a full year, and toilet paper. Exactly. And I would assume, unless you're Buffalo Bill, that you're allowing these people. Now Buffalo Bill is at least, he's paying for lotion. It would cost you more than $1,000 for lotion, right? To keep someone going on there. So I just don't see someone keeping that. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone did. And if someone did, they would have to have the means to do that, to keep someone alive that long. And that would make me go back to these damn reverends and the church people. You know what I mean? People saying the ransom was 5 G's.
Was 5 G's.
It was 5 pieces. I thought it was the ransom was 5,000.
I remember 1,000, but again, memory might be faulty. I only saw it once, so.
Even if it's 5,000, that's not a lot of money.
Yeah.
Not a lot. To hold someone for a year, you're asking for like $20,000, $30,000 if you wanted that. 5 G's, I don't know about that.
Yep. There's a bit of an echo, just letting you know.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
Is there really?
I wonder if it's just me hearing it. I hear it in my ears. Anyway.
Really don't echo. I mean, that's not really what happens with me here. That's not the way it goes with me. Regime Great says a crackhead won't spend that money to keep someone alive. No, they can't spend that money to keep themselves alive.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, if they would have that money, why keep somebody alive if they can have that for drugs and stuff?
Yeah, I don't. So if there are two people, there's a kidnapper and somebody who's the killer, I would have to go. If that would make the two reverends both in you have to have somewhere to keep this person. You know what I mean? And if you did have to have someone to keep the person, then it would be like a basement maybe in a church. It would be somewhere, because where are you going to keep this person for a year?
Right, somewhere where it's secluded from. It's not like in any house. I mean, sounds scary, especially if it gets cold. In cold weather, sound does carry. So it cannot be just anywhere. In this small town like this, the sounds of people can be loud. It's normal, but if somebody was kidnapped, they could make a lot of noise at night to kind of alert neighbors. But at church, there's a lot of ground around it that there's nothing near it.
I'm telling you that reverend seems dirty.
If he's the father, then they did mention the whole thing about, or Mare, who was it? Not Mare, her assistant detective. He did say, or she said to him that if Mare starts asking more questions, they're going to lawyer up. So they have one more chance left at questioning that deacon.
See, the whole thing too is that that Dan Siobhan, she has light hair too. Like that baby,
but it's colored too, I think.
Yeah, it could be too. It's
like it's kind of shade on the side, and it's like dark.
Hair too. It could be dyed. You can't tell with these women nowadays, but she does have light hair too, just like that baby. Yeah, that baby's gonna give away a clue to something. There's something going on there. Yeah, that cat must be chasing some type of something.
Yeah, it's summer here, and I think like one of the insects got here. I had the windows open, so she loves it. I don't.
Oh yeah, she's like, I'm gonna kill something tonight.
Yeah, yeah, it's stampeding all over me at night. Like, I got it. I'm like, thanks, cat. You woke me up at 3 a.m. Yeah,
something's gonna go down today. Who? Maybe she's not dead. The daughter. If the daughter's not dead, what would be the reason for her staying away for a full year and allowing her mother to go through all that stuff?
Right.
Oh yeah. The way the mother is acting and the mother's dying of cancer and her only concern is finding her daughter makes me think that they had a decent type of relationship, at least. So I just don't know why the daughter would stay away for a year then ask. And it's a man's voice that would make the call. So I mean, it's something that the regimes. I think the deacon's into young girls. He's worried about that phone being turned over. He gave the phone up, the deacon, right? He gave up the phone. He gave the phone and everything. It would be that other priest. It would be if I had to pick. It's not the deacon. It's too obvious to be a deacon, but it could be Mare's cousin, because he was right around that corner. Like it could be a situation, like a whole thing going on there.
I mean, if the priest do the confession because I'm assuming priest cannot just have a confession with himself. He has to have another priest to do that. What if the priest, what if Mare's cousin did the confession to the deacon? I don't know if deacons can take confession. I don't know that.
And listen, if we go on what we think it is, the reason why this woman had to be murdered, when we look at this for a little bit, and we see like why it would happen. The only reason we could see is that she was looking for money before she died to get her son's surgery done, and that kid wasn't doing it. The only reason she could be killed, that from what I'm seeing, is that she would go to somebody and say, hey, I need the money for my son. If not, I'm going to tell everyone that you're the baby's dad, because you really are the baby's dad. That would be the only reason. If that would be the only reason to do it, to kill that girl, if you are not sexually assaulting the girl.
Or that even just a simple accusation can destroy. She may say, okay, I don't know who the father is, but how about we find out? How about I go to the station and I say, I don't know who, I just, want to test. Now that the baby's getting older, I see you more in him than I see Dylan. And are you willing to risk it, your reputation on that as a deacon or a priest at that point?
Yeah, it seems
like mothers can do all kinds of crazy things.
It seems like, listen, the Maury show, if you can't go, because if you're in the small town, and I have experience with this right now. There was a guy out here who went on the Jerry Springer show because he used hedge clippers to chop off his penis. All right. And he lives right out here. And everyone knows about this story in this town. There's not one person who doesn't know this story. And there's not one person. They knew it before Jerry Springer. And they know, and everyone knew it right after Jerry Springer. But everyone knew. So it spreads like wildfire. It doesn't matter what the
Mm-hmm.
story is. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? And so it would ruin your whole. If you're a reverend or a preacher or something, and he had sex with this young girl, and he had a baby with her, then it could have happened that it would ruin his life, and that would make him say, "He'll lose everything." He probably get kicked out of the church. He probably wouldn't be a preacher. I don't know if that would. Is that what would happen if
I think they just transfer people
having a baby out of wedlock with a child?
No, I think probably the what do you call it? The diocese would have to pay for child support, and that's why Yeah, and I don't think they fire them. You can't fire somebody from it's like at least in Catholic Church, you don't fire somebody from that. You kind of transfer them, and they still have to serve, but they don't serve with the population. I think that because you're a priest for life, it's like a marriage to God. At least in Catholicism, I can't speak for other faiths, but they just transfer. Probably that's why there are a lot of cases where people were men, mostly priests, were transferred from one place to the other. Obviously a horrible thing to do, but
Lillian, she says, who doesn't get a paternity test before paying child support these days? Whole town acts pretty miserable. She says, if he's Catholic, nothing would happen for him. If anything else, I don't know. Small towns are small towns. The town may push you out. Even if the church doesn't, the town may say, "Listen, we don't want you around here because you did that and stuff." And I will say, for the guy who did that, his name was Earl, and his reasoning for doing that to himself was the reason why he said he did it was that this gay guy was bothering him so much they wanted to have sex with him, and he didn't want to do it, so he just chopped his thing off so that the gay guy wouldn't bother him anymore.
Can you remember bleeding out like that? Jeez. It's like if he would not bleed out from that. I quickly checked some. I wasn't sure. Bernie said that deacons are Protestant. I remember from Poland that they were not, and I quickly checked it. And yeah, there's a pope, cardinal, bishop, priest, and then there are deacons. I'm just saying, because I remember deacons when I was going through the first communion, and we had a deacon who was leading us through it. That's why. But I'm sure there are deacons, like you said, in Protestant. But again, I can't speak for. I don't remember. I didn't pay attention to what religion they are. Not that it matters. Maybe it matters as far as keeping the confession. We cannot. You are not, or I don't know how it is with law, but it would be a mortal sin for a priest or deacon to say what was said in a confession. It's like you cannot. It would be like one of the worst sins for them.
Yeah, so I will say this again. Like Percy saying, I think we need to focus on how and why Aaron was killed. And I think that's what we've been doing, right? That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying. You have to look at her story, and everything else is a smokescreen. Right? There's always stuff going on in the town.
Yeah.
This person's sleeping with this person. This person got fired from this job. The bottom line, when you look at her story, was her dad was beefing with her because she didn't have money. Even when it comes down to Mayor's husband, she was helping her out, buying her stuff because the dad was paying for everything. Then all of a sudden, she has to get surgery for the child. And the so-called baby's dad just does not want to pay it. So it would be, the reason to murder her would be if she knew who the real father was, and she confronted that real father and said, "Hey, if you don't pay me this money for the surgery, I'm going to expose you as being the real father." And that would only be the reason why he would have to kill her. The people that we seen her in that night that we knew that could know that was the reverend who picked her up, not the reverend, the deacon who picked her up, who could know the story already. And then he could have brought her back to the cousin at that particular time. Or he could have did it for the cousin. For Mayor's cousin, the other priest. That was the only one.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's, I don't know. Who No one knows. God damn it. That's the problem.
But that's the fun part. I love it. Every time I'm thinking, oh, it's this one, that one, and then the next one that somebody's excluded. It's just like we don't see hints for them being the killer, but we get more people. I love this.
Yeah, it is great, and everything else. Steph DeRose says, I don't think it was a deacon to kill Aaron, but he knows someone that did. That's right. He had the bite because he picked her up. And thank you, Steph DeRose. I don't know if it's another new name, but I hope all these people, you subscribe to this channel because we'll be here every week. We'll talk about these things. And there'll be other shows we can talk about after too. But, and we do the live stream every week. Now, I know we were supposed to go, LMR reminded me supposed to go on Monday. I thought it was Tuesday. I was wrong.
No. So like we originally thought it's going to be Tuesday because so I assumed that you wanted to have that before Wednesday, before the other stream, and then we kind of like, oh yeah, it's going to be fresh in our mind on Monday, and it's but we thought originally Tuesday, so it's all good. Any night to do it is fine.
We'll do it every Tuesday, and we'll do it every Tuesday at the same time every week. Make sure that you subscribe, and at the end, listen. I wish this is what we're gonna keep a poll next week. We're gonna start a poll, and we're gonna and in this, you know what? This is what we're gonna do. Next video I drop because it will be halfway through the season then, right?
Well, yeah.
The next video, what I'm gonna do is are you going to put who you think killed that person in the comment, who the killer is in the comment section. And I'm gonna screenshot it and I'm gonna save it. And the first person who puts the right name when it's all said and done, we're gonna go right down the list. All right.
So next week.
The first person who puts that right name of the killer in the end for next week's episode, I put it out. We're gonna give him away some. We'll give him some. We'll give away a prize at the end. We'll give away a prize for him.
Nice.
If you're a subscriber.
And the first comment counts. Don't just pop in 5 comments. Like
no. If you wanted to
with the name.
Let's be real. I mean, listen. You can put a name of everybody out there if you really want to. Let's be real. One name. The first one I see.
What if there are 2 killers? Oh my gosh, Tony.
Huh?
What if there are 2 killers? What if it's like a double thing? What do you think? I don't know.
It could be a kidnapper and a killer. But I think it's all tied.
At least one name has to be right.
We're going for the killer.
Killer.
We're going for not the kidnapper.
The killer. I think it's so not people who had something to do with it, but who actually killed her.
Who actually killed
her? Okay.
That's what we're going.
Not the involved people.
People saying cookies. We can give away cookies.
Oh, I miss those cookies. Why, Jake? Why did you mention cookies? Oh my God!
Maybe it could be a thug mug if you want a thug mug. We'll give you a thug mug. We'll give away
those cookies are evil.
those cookies if you want. We can give away Wonder Leaks cookies, the thug mug, and I think it's something else. So it'll be your choice between 3 things, whatever one you want, and I'll send it right out to you.
Pick the cookies and pick the cookies.
Yeah, the cookies are crazy.
Oh Lord,
the cookies are crazy. But listen, you may want to have a thug mug like the Don and rock the mug.
True.
You know all that. All right, I think we've gone through it all, and everyone. Again,
so
do it.
Yeah.
LMR at the end of this episode.
Yeah.
If you have to pick one person, who do you think is the killer?
Gosh, I'm between the 2 people, but with the baby stuff, I'm going for the what's his name? Not the deacon, the Reverend. I'm thinking Reverend. I was close between Reverend and John, whatever his last name is. Yeah, but I'm gonna go with the Reverend.
The Reverend. What is that damn Reverend's name?
I know.
What is his name? His name is Dan, I think. Reverend Dan.
Okay.
I would, if the Reverend is on top of it right now. Kathy votes for cookies. Listen, You get these cookies that I'm telling you that I'm gonna buy for you and send you to. These aren't fucking.
Once you're hooked on the cookies, you're gonna
These
be
aren't Chips Ahoy cookies that I'm going to send to you. I'm going to send to you
no.
cookies that are gourmet cookies.
These are gonna be cookies. When you come home, you're gonna be thinking, okay, that's the first thing that I'm gonna do. Go home, heat up that cookie, sit down for 15 minutes and enjoy it, and then you're gonna have 15 minutes of enjoyment at least with one cookie or two cookies. That kind of cookies.
Oh, people said, wait, you didn't talk about the creepy kid. Who is the creepy kid?
That's the neighbor across from that older lady. Oh, and there was a comment with the why did Mare, delete that thing?
I think, and thank you, Frozen Whirlpool. Mm-hmm. Frozen Whirlpool. This is a beautiful name.
Nice.
That would not, if you were in the whirlpool and it was frozen. That's a great name. You know what I mean? I never heard that name. Thank you for rocking with us with that shot. Listen, it's not that kid. So what that kid, I believe, is the show. Is the show that, Mare covering up shit. You know what I mean? Like she's willing to break
not get people in trouble.
Because she went and she deleted the video of the kid doing a crime. And she broke the law. And I think it's most likely to show, because right after that is when we found out that she takes the heroin and she plants it. So I think it was a little like trying to show you that, hey, that she's
capable of that.
Willing to break the law when she has to. And
like with her daughter at home, right? I mean, she was talking about that her room smells like weed, and I don't know what state they're in, and I know the stuff is legal.
Is he creepy, the other kid? I don't know if he's creepy. The old lady was like, "Is he staring at me?" Staring at me. Anyway, usually you don't stare down an old lady like that.
She was staring at her. That was kind of weird.
I don't know anyone who has the balls to really stare down an old lady like that.
Well, if she was annoying, like she's sitting across and staring. If she's staring, if somebody's staring at me with like an evil eye or something, like just being like all judgy, then I would stare at them until they look away. Stare at them until.
Frozen Whirlpool is saying, I believe this is upstate
New York. Oh, okay.
Where are you located in upstate New York? Where are you? Where are you at? Upstate New York. You talk about upstate New York. Where are you at in upstate New York? I know you.
So Mare is covering up not covering up, but Mare is kind of okay, but not okay with her daughter smoking pot, and obviously they do that. I don't know if it's it's in Pennsylvania. Okay,
you're down in Brooklyn, baby. All right,
so it's legal. Okay,
it's
illegal. Okay,
the story's in Pennsylvania.
Okay, so recreational.
It's not exactly Pennsylvania. It's like right outside there. That's why when you hear her say water. She says like water. Like she doesn't say water. She says like water when she says it. So when she's trying to get the turtle, and she's like, it needs water, and like that. She has a crazy way of saying it and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
So yeah, she's covering up for a lot of people, and normally you would have a conversation. Yo, kid, you're gonna get in trouble, and she's a detective, and her daughter is smoking pot illegally. Especially her being
doing a lot of things. She's trying to pick up a new girlfriend because the one girlfriend is over here throwing up during their performance.
Not wanting hugs when they're in bed. She's like pulling away from her.
She doesn't want nothing to do with it. The girl's trying to get away from it, and then she's just like, "All right, I'll sleep with the radio host, girl." I'll see if those tickets are still available. If I can go sleep with this chick and everything. As Bernie said, they are setting up the crooked cop angle. They are. They're letting you know that she's the crooked cop because listen, they suspended her, and what do you think's going to happen now? And it's what up, Gwen Thomas? It look like she's new to the channel. Hopefully, you subscribe, Gwen Thomas.
Beautiful picture. Come on, you look at that picture.
Thank you.
Look at those pearls.
She's saying maybe it's
beautiful.
Deacon. And we talked about this a little bit earlier, but I just think that they're pointing too hard at the deacon for it to be the deacon.
Yeah,
like they want you to think it's the deacon. Like they're giving you everything to make you believe. They might as well just put a gun.
He may be the father, right? Who knows? Maybe he may be the father, but not a killer.
The deacon, they might as well just put like candy bars, lollipops, and bullets on his front seat. Not only do they have him with the phone call. but they also have him throwing the bicycle off of the bridge.
Oh, you mean deacon? That's right. I thought you meant reverend.
And he just asked two suspects when he gets questioned, and he's not answering the door. But when he's not answering the door, the father is up there creeping around the corner.
Yeah,
too much, too soon to be the deacon, and that's the only reason why I don't think it's him, because they really want you to believe that it's him, and that's the problem I have with it. I have to go with anyone right now. I'm sticking with Mare.
Mare as the killer. Okay.
I would hate to think that this chick would shoot this little girl in the head, and that's the problem I would have. But if she was drunk, it would definitely be, and she would have had to been drunk when it jumped off. But the purpose? The father seems like the guy to go with right now. It seems like if you have to go with one person, like gun to my head, I gotta go with that damn father. Something about him that's.
I'm sorry, father. Which father?
That is Mare's cousin.
The reverend. Okay.
Is we calling him a reverend?
I think he's a reverend. It was mentioned as a reverend, and that's why he's not a Catholic, probably because we don't have reverends, and we don't have. Yeah, he's a reverend. So the cousin, right?
What this man's title is? He has the priest collar, though.
I think that's for across different faiths. I think.
Yeah, no, he's the priest at the local church.
So he's a priest. Priest. Okay, then he might be Catholic. I'll look it up for next time to.
He's a priest
know for sure.
The damn priest. I mean, it has to be the priest. I've seen the.
Oh, there we go. Father Dan Hastings. Yep. Thank you, Richard.
I've seen The Exorcist. He's the damn priest, and the damn priest. Now, would it be too much to be the priest? You know what I mean? Like when you're the priest, like everyone's looking at the priest. Like, oh my God, it's the priest right there. You know, the priest, and it has to be obviously the priest. Like that's the only thing that throws me from it. Like, oh, here's the priest. He did it. You know, the priest always does it in every movie. You know what I mean? It's like the black guy always dies in the Harlem horror movies. The priest
oh my God.
The guy who does it in the end and stuff. So that would be the problem with me.
So the deacon was upset because he's covering up for that priest, right?
Yes, the reverend. The deacon would be covering for the priest.
Let me see.
Because it would be the priest's baby. Because in the end, whoever is the killer is the baby's daddy. And I'm telling y'all that the killer is somehow connected to being the baby's daddy. You don't have to be the baby's daddy exactly. If it's Mare, then the baby's daddy would be her son. But the timeline has to match up for that to be possible. I need to know exactly when the son passed away and when this baby was born, if he was around at that particular time to do that.
Yeah, and they don't just say it outright, like, okay, he died then, this is an anniversary. They don't have, they could have done like, oh, this is an anniversary. Maybe she's doing it, maybe the sister is doing that entire documentary for the first anniversary of his death. Maybe that's the thing, but we're going to find out later. We don't know it yet. And I think they're keeping it away from us for a reason. And I quickly checked. According to this, it says that deacons cannot hear confessions. So technically, if the priest said something to him, he's not it doesn't have to abide by the the law of keeping the confession to himself, since he actually is not qualified to take. Well, he cannot, I guess, legally in religion take confession from give absolution for confession. But he knows something. He's hiding.
No, he's hiding.
Yeah.
But he could just be hiding from his past, right? He could be. What he could be ashamed of is the reason why he got transferred there. He doesn't want that to be exposed.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that he has her, he definitely picked her up.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. Thank you, Fernandez T, for the super chat. He says, "Cha." Looking good host. The hosts are looking good. Thank you. At least someone said obviously LMR is here and no one's looking at me when LMR is here.
They're mostly ladies here, Tony. Everybody's looking at you.
No, but I appreciate somebody, hey, the Don is the Don. You know, I mean, I do appreciate it. Don't think I do truly appreciate that. But it would just be, you know, when it comes down to it, the deacon, they're pointing that finger so hard. He definitely picked her up. We know he picked her up. She called him. That's done deal. He picked her up. He has the bike. That's done deal. That's that. So we have that. But that, I think, is all he did. And that's why he's throwing the bike away, because he doesn't want to get exposed for what he did in the past. And then we have out of nowhere, an anonymous tip just happens to come in and say, hey, look into what he did. That's a little crazy to me, that anonymous tip would just come in out of nowhere. You know, how long has he been there? And why has this tip never come in before? Now all of a sudden the tip is coming in anonymously. Oh, and that, you know, I hate to say it, but who is this damn detective that's with Mare, this new guy who solved the case? Does he has a weapon? Does he have something to do with this damn killing? And is there no bullet in the skull? Was there no bullet? Do we have a bullet there, or was the bullet just
I
right
don't
through
know if we're waiting for forensics or anything like that.
It got shot. It got stuck in the tree, right? The bullet.
So it looked like again, from what I saw, the scar, or not the scar, the wound on her forehead looked like as if it's like I didn't see like a bullet going in and like her head, you know, popping out from the other side. It looked kind of like a cross, as if it struck her across. But maybe I was looking at it the wrong way. But why would there be maybe because Mare said that she was hit. She was shot once, but might have been shot many times.
Means across. You're bringing it all together. And we don't know who the ferret man is too. And thank you, Gwen Thomas, for subscribing. I truly appreciate it. Truly do. We do this every Tuesday. We do this, and then it's House of the Dragon every Wednesday. After Dark every Saturday night is After Dark, and After Dark is a crazy stream. It's only for adults, and it gets deleted right after. So
you get a variety on this channel, different at least 2 different shows plus videos on different topics outside of the streams.
We do Lovecraft Country when that's in, and we do all that stuff. We do all these videos,
and then extra relaxing time on the weekends.
Exactly. Now, the new guy detective, that this guy, he solved that one murder, that one missing kids. You know, he was trying to have sex with Mare that night in the bar. I don't know if I want to go with them or just stay here with you. Like, dude,
oh Lord,
you know, who's looking at you, dude? I had that all of a sudden. Now all of a sudden, Mare, everyone's trying to sleep with Mare. It's just like, he does seem suspicious too. I mean, everyone seems suspicious,
right? The only thing is, like, how do we know he got there? Like, was he told to go there? Did he volunteer? I don't remember hearing how he actually was referred to them, or if he's like, oh, I'll do it, kind of thing. You know, so how did he get there?
Richard has an interesting point. Let's look at Richardson. Richard, hope you subscribe to the channel too. All right, the Richard Cheney. As Colin said, she was shot twice. The Mare said she could have been holding her hand.
Yeah, like that.
In front of her head. And who knows how many shots were exactly fired.
That's what she said. Yeah, exactly. So that ricochet on the side of the building, landing in a tree. So we do have an actual bullet stuck in the tree. Right?
So eventually we will have a matching
comparison.
Gun. When they save the bullet, that means that they're gonna find the gun.
Usually, because the inside of the barrel, right? I think it has special markings, so that if I don't know exactly how they're compared, but they can go match it. They just take the gun and shoot a bullet and kind of do comparison to how it looks like on a what do you call it? Bullet, that part that stays.
The marks that stay on the bullet.
Yeah, on the
like
whole
some
thing is
type of
called a
spray
bullet,
thing.
but like the thing that actually the shell falls down, and then the other thing I forgot what it's called. Is it still a bullet or is it
Yeah, we'll say the projectile from the bullet.
projectile? Yeah, that's what I meant, because the bullet is the entire thing. I meant
Yeah,
the thing that shoots out and lands somewhere. It has the as it goes through the barrel, it spins a little bit, and then it
yeah.
takes
So
the
the barrel's
markings with
rifled,
it.
then it would scream and would scrape against it. And those
There's
markings
always
on the bullet.
it's like fingerprints, basically.
Yeah. So changing, listen, it getting lodged in the tree makes me think that it wasn't too messed up. Like it got stopped right
Yeah,
there.
it didn't splash.
Right.
It kind of had the momentum could have been stopped slowly because it's a a living tree. It's not a hard surface.
Yeah, so I think that we no, it's all good. It's all good, Fernandez. He's driving and everything. Now, I think we have covered just about everyone. I don't think
I think
we've come
so.
to I'm listen,
Mm-hmm.
man's got something to do with this shit.
Right.
Whether
As a
she's
mother,
covering for
yeah.
a cousin, covering for a son. I just think that because when you do the whole, oh man, she's a bad cop. Oh man, she all of a sudden she got kicked off the case. Not like she's going to not deal with this case. I mean, that is the classic trope
Right.
for police officers. They always get suspended.
Right.
It happens in every cop show ever. A movie.
Yeah.
They always get
And they
suspended.
show up like,
They always got, hand me your gun.
Right.
Your gun and your badge, please.
And then actual solving continues and actually takes place after that.
It always happens all the time.
Yeah.
Every guy, your gun and your badge. You always hear that gun and your gun and your badge. And when they run away with it or something, if they got to clear the name. Something's going on there with her.
Yeah.
But something's going on with her. Yeah. I mean,
and I think
we'll go through it.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, they are showing the things that she's willing to do for her her grandson too, because she thinks this is what she needs to do to keep her grandson to herself, right, away from the mother. So maybe we're gonna see that whatever Aaron had to do, even if it was something bad, threatening somebody with either a lie or if it was a lie, a lie can already ruin somebody's reputation. It doesn't have to be true. And she may say, yeah, I slept with him. How can he deny it? Like, what is he going to do? Like, there's no way, whoever she might have been blackmailing. What are they going to say? No, I didn't. It's her. He said, she said. But the opinion of the town at that moment, his reputation might have been already ruined. So, I think it's also showing, not that she's not a crooked cop. She kind of is she is. She's planting evidence. But just crooked. Showing what mothers will do, how far they can go.
She's definitely crooked.
Yes.
She's definitely doing it for the son, maybe to redeem herself, to do something, everything, to make her son, try to, keep her son's child with them when it's all said and done. Jenna S., thank you for stopping by. It was definitely textbook, the gun in your badge. You hear that every cop show. There's no doubt about it. All right, we're going to go through the chat real quick before we end this right now. Who do you think, as of right now, listen, and this is what I want to say to you. Don't be afraid to put something down there and then change your mind next week. This is a week-to-week thing. Yeah. As of right now, who do you think, in the chat, put in the chat, who is the killer? We're going to read them all out. We'll read out as many as I can. There's over 50 people here. We'll try to read as many as we can. But as of right now, after everything we just discussed, we went through it all, I think. Who do you think the killer is? Who is it? Celebrity Bikini says Mayor.
Says Mayor. Mayor. Who's Mayor?
Who's Mayor?
I'm sorry, who's the mayor?
Bernie L saying Richard Ryan. The cousin, Father Dan Hastings. Father Dan looks like the man. Father Dan looks like the man. It really does look like Father.
And the father too. Maybe he's the father Actual father.
It looks,
Dan.
he looks like the man. He really, I mean, if you really have to push it towards
Yeah.
it looks like it's Father Dan. But that may be to throw you off. But
Yeah.
it does look like Father Dan.
I keep saying that I wanted to be that author because he plays such a great bad guy. But again, I don't see any more clues for that so far.
There's a lot of Father Dans. You know, all these Father Dans make me think it's not Father Dan now. Now I'm getting nervous about Father Dan. You know, there's too many Father Dans in the chat coming up. When I start thinking about all,
nobody says it could be John and Bill, kind of like, you know, or multiple people. Nobody says it's like people working together.
I'm gonna watch episode 1 over again and go through it one more time.
The daughter,
Lori, Kathy, I would think that'd be Siobhan. I don't know. As I said, I can't see it being her because I can't see her getting to her 17 miles away from where I went down. That's why I don't think it's there.
Who's Zabel? I'm sorry, I keep forgetting the name.
Who?
Name Zabel as a character in there. I forgot who that is.
I don't know who is Zabel.
Yeah, if the chat could remind me, because I had forgot who Zabel is.
The writer or Zabel? I don't know if it's the writer. I don't know. That Billy Ross is always around. Zabel is the other
cop. Okay. Oh, so that's the detective, right? The detective. Okay, thank you.
I just don't know if he was there. Why would he? Did he get her pregnant? We haven't.
And how did he?
It has to do. I'm telling you, people. It has to do with the paternity. When you look at her story, it has to be she went to somebody for this money. You know what I mean? That's the only reason it was going to expose them for being the father. And they didn't want that out. So it's a married person, a married man, or someone whose job would be on the line or threatened. All I could see it being. You have to really narrow it down to that. Because
to kill somebody over $1,000, well, I mean, people do crazy.
Is this what like we're saying the writer? He just pay her the money. He has the money. He's a college professor. And he has a book. He'll just give her the money. Here's the money. Oh, if you're threatening me to go public and just those money, here's the money. Here you go. Now the threat's over. It has to be someone who wasn't able to pay the money or willing to pay the money and didn't want that coming out. Or had been blackmailed before, and it's been too many times.
Yeah, exactly. Because then there's that thought, if she's gonna, you know, the kid is not even 2, maybe 1, barely. I don't think the kid can walk. They were carrying him. Like, why would you carry your kid who can walk, like from home to the car? So it's just been not even a year or barely a year, and it's, you know, money for this, money for that. The kid has to be there until 18, so she may be blackmailing him. And even after, you know, it turns out that, you know, you were the father of my baby and you were lying all this time. So maybe somebody was pushed too far with that and just didn't kill for the money, but for the thought of it's going to continue forever.
Yeah, the jealous lover not being the father, I don't think that he would have access because he was with his girlfriend, like the guy who is the father. He's just finding out that he's not the father now, and it looks like he wants to kill the baby for it. If you're talking about that person, I don't think it's that person at all. I think that kid's an idiot. I don't think he would be able to find her 17 miles, because you got to remember, she drove 17 miles away. She drove whoever drove it 17, then back. And back, and then took off all her clothes except for her panties and dumped her. Took off her socks and shoes too, right?
I think she was completely naked, without just keeping her underwear on.
Except for the underwear.
Yep.
You know, so,
plus, why would he kill her? If he kills her, he has to be the one paying, kind of, right?
Yeah, this doesn't see it. It doesn't see it. It's just
he would be stuck with the baby. Like, I'm saying stuck because he doesn't want to pay, or doesn't seem like he cares that much about the fact that he cannot pay for. I mean, earache and all that's so much pain. That's an awful pain to have, no matter if you're a baby or an adult. So if he kills the mother of the baby, then he's more than likely the one who's going to be stuck with the baby for more. And it doesn't seem like he wants to be with the baby too much because it was more like his parents were taking care of that kiddo.
Mm-hmm. But it seemed like he was all, put the baby on my chest right now. It just seems like, and then he looks right into the baby's eyes and looks at the baby. Makes me think that somehow that baby is connected to somebody. Like when you look at him, look at the baby's eyes, it's like he's looking to see who that baby, if it's his child.
Yes.
And
there's no concern or anything.
Baby, that whole paternity situation has to come back to be the motivation. There's no other motivation.
Yeah.
For someone to kill her, unless it's not sex. If someone was a sicko, this one that have sex with her, you would say, all right, that's the motivation.
Yeah.
The whole thing is getting money for this baby to have surgery, and he wasn't willing to pay it. The dad's not willing to pay it, so she had to go to who she believes the real father is, and threaten to expose this person for not paying. That's what it is. I'm telling y'all, people, trust me. And when it comes to writing a story, that's what it is. There's no doubt about it. So whoever is the baby's daddy is the killer.
Or whoever also maybe sleeping, who has slept with her, and she's like, well, I don't know who the daddy is. Are you willing to find out? So the threat of being the father,
Yeah.
Because she probably didn't have money to do the test herself, but she may be like, okay, I don't think it's him. I don't think it's Dylan. So let's find out. Are you willing to find out? Are you willing to be exposed for even at least sleeping with her? Yep.
Yeah. All right. I think we've gone through it.
We did.
And Rich is like, where are Erin's clothes? Those should be.
We don't know.
We should not find them. Whoever has the clothes get found. This is not a master killer. Here, right. I mean, the killer those should have been gone. Gwen says the author just popped up. Maybe it's him. As I said, we thought about the author. I'm not saying it's not him. It definitely could be him, but I don't see him having the motivation of doing it.
And especially there were no more clues about him at all.
There's no reason for him to do it. I just don't see the reason at this particular time why he would want to do it. If she came and blackmailed him for money, he has the money to pay. I don't know if he's been there long enough to have sex with this woman and to do it. So, and I don't know how it would ruin his life if he did have sex. As long as she's above age, and it was his child, how would it ruin his life? It really wouldn't ruin his life.
Yeah.
So he should be able to pay for that child. Especially like that. All right, I'd like to say we have gone through everybody here, and I'll say thank you to everybody who will be here next week. Tomorrow, I will have another podcast talking about House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, with the usual suspects. We'll be talking about Robert's Rebellion, all the events that led up to it, and the whole rebellion itself. Be with Bridge 4, and we'll be with Phil the Issues Guy. So definitely check us out for that. I will be dropping a House of the Dragon video or something about that almost every day. Tomorrow I will drop the whole not tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow I'll drop Wednesday. The whole mayor's for this video. I'll drop the whole preview for next week's episode. I'll break that down. I'll drop that video tomorrow. So definitely, when you see those videos do pop up, hit the like button on those videos and everything else. If you do, and it hits 500 likes, then I will give away 1 month of HBO Max free to whoever subscribed and leaves a comment on the video randomly. Nice. So we'll definitely do that. And after next week's video that we get, because we'll be halfway through, so we should know by then. And again, I'll say it again. Next week's video, and I'll say it before we go. You're going to put in who the killer is. No long explain who the killer is. Just put the name of the killer. And it's the person who killed Erin. When the season is over, we're going to go back to that video. The first person who put the name of the killer, we will give away a gift. Whether it is a thug mug, turn it down, Tony Teflon, you have the same exact mug. Well, you don't get the same mug as me, but you get one that's close. I'm the only one who has this mug. But you'll get a thug mug. Or you will get a box of cookies, and these aren't just Regular
Not
cookies.
just regular cookies.
These aren't Chips Ahoy. If you've been a part of my channel, you know everything about these cookies. Wonder Keeks cookies. You can look them up. You can pick which one you want. I'll send you that, or brownies that they make, cookies or brownies. Or what else did I say? I would give away 3 things, right? Cookies, Thug Mug. I don't know what the third. Maybe
I just remember cookies. I'm just thinking cookies, and for other people,
maybe I'll give away a munch of HBO Max, whatever you want. We'll go through. It'll be those things and everything else. Sterling said again, what's the topic for the usual suspects? We are talking about Robert's Rebellion and everything that led up to it, led up to Robert's Rebellion. That will be that. That will be the usual suspects topic tomorrow, and everything else. All right, so let's put this stuff up the way it's supposed to be. Thank you again for everybody who rock with us. We truly appreciate it. If you like the way we do this, please thumbs up this. Please spread this across the realm, and also subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Wait. Let's do it this way. Peace and stay
sexy.
There it is. Thank you very much, Elmar, for rocking with us. I truly
pleasure every time.